discretion is advised. Now, in this video, we will be talking about neurotransmitters in the form of spirit or spirits. Okay? So, I want to break down a couple of words real quick. Neuro means nerve. Spirit means breath. What? Give life. Okay? Spirit also means the life force, soul, non-physical essence of a person. All right? So neurotransmitters, got that out. I don't want to make this video longer than what it's probably going to be. Neurotransmitters, scientifically, are endogenous, which means substances, processes, or factors that originate, grow, or are produced within a system or organism or cell. Chemical messages produced by neurons that transmit signals across a synaptic, which means specialized junctions in the nervous system that transmit signals between neurons or to other cells or muscle glands, acting as the foundation of, I'm trying to read my own handwriting. Neural communication, learning, and memory, clef, from one nerve cell to another. So basically, a neurotransmitter is full of neurons that transmit themselves from one nerve cell to another. Now, we're going to be talking about 12, right? I could erase this because you made me ask him, okay. How can we call up on our nerve? Just like we call this. You know what? And before we ever call upon spirits, such as like orishas or whatever it is, all right? Work with the energy that's already within us, because these neurotransmitters, they deal with our hormones, they affect our sleep. We can call upon them for different reasons. Okay, we call upon these neurotransmitters when we need them, when we need energy. You could call upon the spirit of dopamine, right? You call upon the spirit of such and such other transmitter. Just like we call upon other deities, gods, and spirits that have names. And the names of deities resonate on a particular frequency. We call upon deities and gods and such when we need energy for maybe to get money. Maybe we need energy to run a race if you're into track, or win some type of award. We call upon certain things. That's the same thing when we call upon these neurotransmitters. All right? So, like we said, break it down to simpler terms. A neurotransmitter is basically sending signals to other nerve cells. So, frequencies. Now, the first neurotransmitter we're going to talk about is dopamine. And if you need to, you can, what's it called? Zoom in. You can zoom in if you need to. I'm not writing big enough. Dopamine is the brain's reward. It's the brain's reward system. It regulates pleasure, motivation, focus, and movement. It reinforces behaviors by creating a wanting sensation when anticipating rewards. So I'm writing down this stuff. I'm writing down the information about these neurotransmitters so that if you ever need a boost of dopamine or a boost of serotonin, you can actually call upon the name of the neurotransmitters, and they'll start sending signals to the nerve cells that is in correspondence to the neurotransmitter or the receptors, neuroreceptors. It's a lot of words, neuro and trans. Okay. So dopamine, focus, movement, motivation, okay. It plays a major role when it comes to our memory, learning, sleep, mode, and mood. As well as motor control. All right. Now, too little of dopamine can cause depression. So, let me see. I want to write this before. Less depression. More so if you have too much dopamine, you'll have ADHD or even addiction. This also affects people who have addiction problems. So you can call upon dopamine if you need less. No, if you need a balance. The whole purpose of calling upon these neurotransmitters is to have balance. And these neurotransmitters are part of our nervous system. So we must have a regulated and balanced nervous system when it comes to manifestation. That's important. But we must work with the functions within our bodies so that we can have this balance and that we can have and manipulate and bend our world. Have all the outcomes that we want. In order to have the outcomes that we vision for ourselves, we must have a balanced nervous system. Okay? Next neurotransmitter. It's serotonin. What is serotonin? Okay. So it promotes happiness. Happiness regulates sleep-wake cycle. Make sure y'all read it. Okay. So Oh yeah, and dopamine is a hormone. Some of these are hormones, and it impacts our hormonal function, such as our sex drive too. So it promotes happiness, regulates sleep-wake cycle, and if you have too much or too little, less also, when it comes to serotonin, is depression, anxiety, and mood disorders. More, too much, rapid heart rate, muscle rigidity, fever, agitation. So it can reduce anxiety. And it stabilizes emotions. So it promotes emotional stability, boosts our mood, and it can also be seen as the happy hormone. Now we can increase our serotonin by light. So bright lights, you can go out to the sun, you can increase your serotonin like that. And also through exercise. Hope y'all have that. If you don't, then you can go and move on. Next is GABA. So GABA is gamma aminobutyric acid. It's a primary inhibitor in the central nervous system, acting as a brake to calm brain activity. So let me just write it down. GABA. Okay. Inhibitor. I'm writing down the scientific meaning of these. So then I did that already. Central nervous system. And it functions to calm, it basically calms the nervous system. So the central nervous system, okay, let me write it down. It says calms firing nerves. Let me just say calm nerves. In the central nervous system. Which is, so the central nervous system is the body's processing center. and is made up of the brain and spinal cord. Now, the central nervous system is the body's processing center. However, the reticular activating system is also located in the central nervous system. I'm gonna write it with another, so y'all can. The reticular activating system isn't a part. It's not a neurotransmitter. So, reticular activating system is in the central nervous system, and it's basically made to function. Let me just write it down. It functions as a filter. Filter out what is important to the brain. So it functions to filter out information the brain or the consciousness sees as important or necessary. Okay? So when you talk about robotic affirmations goes in line with this. Subliminals. When we're listening to robotic affirmations when we're in sleep, when we're in our slumber, when we are listening to subliminals, the reticular activating system is trying to distinguish the information that the brain is processing as necessary or unnecessary. Okay? And it plays out into our consciousness. So, rise is basically in our subconscious. It's about our subconscious, what we're programming our subconscious with robotic affirmations or subliminals. And it's helping distinguish what information to give our consciousness. Oh, well, yeah, the subconscious is going to say, oh, hey, I want $1 million. I have $1 million. I have $1 million. I have $1 million. I have $1 million. Then the reticular activating system is programming the subconscious to show, hey, you have $1 million. I have $1 million. I have $1 million. You get into the frequency of that, and then become a magnet for all things of $1 million, basically. In simpler form, yeah. It's basically what that reticular activating system is. I wanted to touch base on the reticular activating system when it comes to the central nervous system, because it is a key factor and key component when it comes to manifestation. Okay? Remember that. The next neurotransmitter, we got GABA. Next transmitter. Oh, and I also want to talk about so we talk about robotic affirmations, subliminals, which functions to filter sensory input, determining what information reaches the conscious brain, which is the gatekeeper of attention. Our energy flows where our attention goes. And so the particular activating system is also located in the medulla, pons, and midbrain, which are located in the cranial nerves of 3 to 12, which is so I talked about the cranial nerves in one of my older videos. It's about a year old now. So I talked about the 12 tribes of Israel and correlated that with the 12 cranial nerves. Now, the 12, so the medulla, such as, okay, so I'm going a little fast. The particular activating system is mostly in the brain stem, as well as the medulla, pons, and midbrain. And the GABA is also in correlation with the brain and spinal cord. So that's why I wanted to touch base on RAS. So when I talked about the 12 cranial nerves, or 12 tribes of Israel, I was talking about how they were in response with one another, and how they are basically about the 12 tribes of Israel within us. And yeah, just go check out that video. I broke that down. I broke down the 12 cranial nerves and 12 tribes of Israel. So, next transmitter we have is glutamate. Yeah, glutamate. I'm not trying to make it any longer than what it has to be. So, glutamate. Glutamate is what? It's the most abundant excitatory neurotransmitter. It's essential for cognitive functions such as learning, memory, and neural signaling, basically. So it has a key role in energy metabolism. We only call upon these neurotransmitters when they're needed. Okay? And abnormal let me see. So too much, I'm going to say too much or too little of glutamate can cause depression, chronic stress, and neurodegenerative diseases. Too much can cause cell damage. Okay. We got that out the way. Then is acetylcholine. Acetylcholine, which is a chemical messenger. It's a messenger that enables communication between neurons, muscle cells, and glands throughout the central and peripheral nervous system. It's a messenger that communicates. Between neurons. Muscles, muscle cells, and glands. Via or through the central and peripheral nervous systems. It also plays a role in muscle contraction, heart rate regulation, and digestion. Memory and learning. Is located in the autonomic nervous system. I'm gonna just put NS, nervous system. So it regulates involuntary functions such as sweating and digestion. Sweating and digestion. Make sure y'all eat. Get it? If you didn't, you need more. Norepinephrine is next. Norepinephrine. That is so. And also, if you want to, you can look up the etymology of these neurotransmitters. So you have norepinephrine. Yeah. Norepinephrine. Now, this acts as both a neurotransmitter as well as a hormone. It's vital for the body's acute stress. such as fight or flight response. Fight. Is produced by nerve cells and adrenal glands. It increases its alertness to the body. Arousal, attention, heart rate, blood pressure, to supply energy to muscles. Oh, and blood sugar to supply. I'm trying to hurry up. To supply energy. Okay, so it is released in high levels, okay, in stressful times or in times where our bodies feel like we're in danger. That's when norepinephrine kicks in, fight or flight. So too much, we say less, is depression, poor concentration, low energy, too much, anxiety, high blood pressure, I'm taking time. All right. So it prepares our bodies for to take action, basically. So more, if we have too much, we get anxiety, high blood pressure, restlessness. So we will call upon this neurotransmitter whenever, well, you don't have to call it because it's natural. But if you feel like you're depressed or you just can't concentrate, you can call upon the spirit to get better concentration and to get better of a balance with the energy. I know this thing is when I'm writing. So that's norepinephrine. And then you have epinephrine, which does the same thing. So epinephrine, this spirit does the same thing. However, it's dealt with adrenaline. It's a rush of adrenaline. So it's the same thing. So it's a hormone produced by the adrenal glands that acts as the body's rapid response. But this one, the only difference is this is used for severe allergic reactions. So if you have, like, let's say you get stung by a bee, or let's say throat swelling, call upon the spirit. Well, these are our body's natural ways to tell us whether something's wrong or not. But if we have too much or too little, we'll call upon such epinephrine. So, what's about to write? So it acts as the body's rapid response to stress that triggers, the stress that triggers the fight or flight response. Okay. Yeah. Fight or flight. So if something happens to our body, so norepinephrine happens when we feel like we're placed in certain environments. When we feel like we're in danger, that's when norepinephrine kicks in and say, hey, yo, get ready, we gotta take action. That's norepinephrine. Epinephrine is when something happens to our body. Say we eat something that isn't what we normally eat. So as a way for our bodies to defend a threat that's invading our bodies, the body goes into this panic. It can go into a panic or shock feeling. And norepinephrine response will be such as if you eat something that doesn't go along with your body's natural your body's normal regimen, it'll go into shock, such as throat swelling. If you get stung by a bee, hives, stuff like that. So Yeah, so it is used for severe allergic reactions. It's a medication. Medication used for allergies. It reverses throat swelling, insect stings as well. And it treats cardiac arrest. It can be used to treat cardiac arrest. Severe asthma. And low blood pressure. Due to septic shock. Okay. Now, the effects is increases heart rate, boosts blood pressure, opens airways, boosts energy, boosts energy supply, by releasing glucose. Right? So if you're into holistic, if you're into holistic wellness, calling upon these neurotransmitters would definitely help healing. It can help healing, it can help our aid in many, many ways. Okay? So we got this epinephrine. Too little of epinephrine inhibits the body's fight or flight, so it reduces the ability to handle stress. All right. So it can cause an inability to handle stress. If it's abnormally low. Inhibits fight or flight. Okay? more, if you have too much. It's physical and mental stress. Mental stress such as anxiety. Sing that Dochi. I can get off of me. It's my anxiety. Yeah. So if you call upon epinephrine if you need it. Or if you call upon epinephrine if you lessen it. Or you need a balance. Always call when you're dealing with neurotransmitters, call upon the spirit of the neurotransmitter to balance, okay? Or to bring something such as if you need a boost of energy, call upon one of the neurotransmitters. As spirit. These are spirits, okay? Spirit just means breath. It's energy. If our nervous system needs a reboot, you can call upon these spirits. Alright? You got glycine. All right. I'll need this one. Oh yeah, and also I forgot to mention. So you can add, if you're taking notes, epinephrine works within seconds by stimulating alpha and beta adrenergic receptors to tighten blood vessels and relax muscles in the airways. Okay. Glycine is essential for connective tissue repair. Y'all gonna love this one. Y'all gonna love this one. Cause y'all know how y'all be taking the collagen powders? There's no more need for that. Glycine is here. It's your hero. For real. You can call upon this spirit. This beautiful spirit. Y'all really gonna like it. Y'all gonna love it. Okay? So it's essential for connective tissue repair. It's a neurotrans my handwriting, God. I was just going through it. Producing antioxidants. So it produces antioxidants. Like glutathione. skin tightening, cover up the wrinkles. You want to cover up your wrinkles? You want to give it like cellulite or whatever? Call upon spirit and glycine. It won't let you down. It won't let you down. It won't. And also, I'm gonna get to that towards the end. But we took a little bit further down though. Okay, collagen, structural protein. Muscle repair. Y'all love this one. This is that girl. Acts as an inhibitor or inhibitory neurotransmitter, and it improves sleep quality. And it calms the nervous system. Which is important, especially like I said, we must have a regulated and balanced nervous system for a good quality of life. Okay? Too little is fatigue, slow wound healing, slow recovery, and an impaired metabolic function. Too much is digestive issues. Such as nausea, soft stools, or excessive sedation. So if you ever have a problem taking a shit, this is, call upon glycine sedation. Call upon glycine if you have problems with skin, or you having problems with, bowel movement and taking shit and stuff. It won't let you down. It won't let you down. Have no fear. Glycine is here. Tell me. Call. We almost done. I know. This is a lot. Not really a lot. But I just wanted to tell y'all, I want to give y'all the information so that if you do have problems with these such functions, you don't always have to call upon deities and stuff. They are within us, but you can call upon, the spirits that really have an effect, an impact. Such as the ones that are connected with the human body. And we have histamine. Okay. So histamine is that was the same thing that I was. So histamine, right? It is a naturally produced chemical that's from our immune system to fight foreign invaders such as foods the body isn't acquainted with. All right. So it acts as a mediator in allergic reactions. So, in inflammatory responses. So epinephrine, what are you doing? Verse throat swelling. But yeah, like it could also epinephrine and histamine, they can go hand in hand. Because it's fight or flight. If your body's triggered in any way. But yeah. Okay. Hold on now. So yeah, histamine. Naturally produced by immune system. Okay. And fight foreign invaders such as foods. So we already covered that. It's a chemical messenger causing blood vessels to dilate. And tissues to swell. Smooths muscles to contract. While regulating stomach acid, brain function, sleep-wake cycles, So yeah, the cells release histamine when exposed to allergens, such as pollen, dander, and food. So histamine is in effect right now because this is the time where a lot of people are having allergies caused by pollen. Okay? This is the time. Histamine is in power right now. It's overpowering people. So you can call upon histamine for regulation if you need it. But histamine is just a natural component that our body, like I said before with, I think it was epinephrine. Whenever our body is in high alert, especially when it comes to food or something that's going on with us, and it feels like our body has been affected with some type of invasion, histamine is going to come into play or come in effect, full effect. So histamine is stored in mast cells throughout the body and is quickly released when the immune system detects an attack. Right? Or a potential threat, even if it is a false alarm. Right? Then you have adenosine. I don't know who came up with these words. Whoever came up with the words, they were very intentional. Check the words, right? Words have meaning. Adenosine is essential for cellular energy transfer. Cellular energy transfer. DNA, RNA, structure and signal. And it's an inhibitory nervous system. Neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter. It acts as an antiarrhythmic medication. Medication. Treating rapid heart rate, it also creates sleep pressure. So it creates sleep pressure when our body isn't well rested. So for instance, if we stay up all night adenosine will start sending signals to our nerve cells to tell us to go to sleep if it feels like it's an exhaustion. So the longer we are awake, the more added adenosine builds up, making us sleepy or drowsy. So caffeine, people love this stuff. Caffeinated drinks blocks adenosine receptors. Preventing the brain from feeling this fatigue. So it acts as a vasodilator, widening blood vessels to improve. Vasodilator. To improve blood flow. And slow the heart rate. Gosh. That says breaks. You can't understand my handwriting. I'm speaking the words as I'm writing. So. Not too much in my handwriting. I know. Okay. So it is also derived from yeast. So it's used in cosmetic products for anti-aging and anti-wrinkle properties. But you can call, for anti-aging, you can call on glycine for that, you know. I don't know what. Oh, I hear right. Oh my gosh, I can't read. Helps improve skin elasticity. Improve skin elasticity. Okay. Now we almost done. Alright. And we're going to talk about the energy techniques. Well, it's not really energy techniques. The only thing we're doing is calling upon one of the transmitters. So that's what we're doing. But so then you have anandamide. Anandamide is the bliss molecule. Ananda, sound like Amanda. Amanda. Now why is it the bliss molecule? Alright. So everybody gonna be excited. Y'all gonna be excited for this. Calm down. It is an indigenous not indigenous, indigenous, E-N, cannabinoid. Endogenous. It's like my handwriting. Cannabinoid. What does that sound like? What does that sound like? Everybody love it. Everybody loves cannabinoid. Oh my goodness. Can't get enough of it. And endogenous cannabinoid neurotransmitter produced naturally in the brain and it acts as a lipid mediator. What is a lipid mediator? A lipid mediator is a bioactive signaling molecules derived from cell membrane fatty acids that act as local hormones to regulate inflammation, immune responses, and homeostasis that binds to the same cannabinoid as THC. Cannabis. Call upon this this neurotransmitter. Ooh, I know you're like, calm down. I know I'm high too. I am. So it influences the mood. Now, what neurotransmitter do you think I called upon on before the video? Put it in the comment section down below what neurotransmitter you think I called upon on. Yeah, I called. Does that even make sense? Okay. It influences mood, memory, appetite. People get the munchies, right? Yeah, okay. And pain regulation. Why do people get a high? They don't want to feel mental pain. Now, I'm not saying all people that get high, they don't want to feel, suffering or whatever, but I'm saying sometimes, some people want to get high because it takes them out of this reality for a short period of time, or it dissociates them. So this is the bliss molecule. So the name comes from a Sanskrit word for joy and delight. Joy. Delight. This is a delightful neurotransmitter that you can call spirits. Then, lastly, endorphin. We love a good endorphin. We love endorphin. Endorphin. Okay. This acts as the body's feel-good, pain-relieving agents. Okay? Feel-good, pain-relieving agents. It's released in response to stress, pain, or pleasurable activities. Activities such as exercise, laughter, and guess what? Sex. So I don't know if I can say this word. So it binds to. I'm gonna just write the word down. Did y'all know we have this? We have these type of receptors within us. So, that's the other thing I want to point out. The things that we already have in us, that we could just call upon these spirits, right? We could call upon the spirit of this neurotransmitter to get these receptors going and flowing. But the thing is, they chemically make in a lab the same things that we have, such as THC, okay, this, and then they name it as illegal. They try to control what they know they can't control. Okay? I just want to point that out. This is also known as runner's high. DMT. DMT is within our. Okay. We can activate, when we activate our pineal gland, we are activating a molecule called dimethyltryptamine. Am I saying that right? So this is the natural painkiller. This is the natural painkiller. Like, okay, I don't need y'all's THC. I don't need y'all DMT. I got my own DMT. I could activate. Hey DMT, yeah, I'm gonna call upon you so that you could get me high. Say, I'm not serious. Or am I? Yeah. You call upon these things. But also, what I want to mention is, use them wisely. Use what I'm, sharing with you all wisely, please. But yeah, spirit, these all have breath within them. I want you to, when you meditate, or even when you're going to bed, call upon one of these neurotransmitters that, such as, you know, any neurotransmitter, you can call upon them as if they're spirit. You can say, I call upon the spirit of serotonin to help balance my mood. And okay, call upon these as spirits. Okay, tell me in the comment section down below what neurotransmitter have you called upon, and what effect did it give you? Did you become happy? No. Or did whatever it is, whatever effect? Let me know in the comment section down below how you used this technique or form of a technique of energy. Because that's what we're doing. We're using the energy that is already within us, but we must balance and recharge and reboot our nervous system for a healthy quality of living, or healthy quality of life, and to create more experiences within our reality, bring more and wield more things that we want to see in our outcome of reality. So that is it. I hope y'all liked it. I hope y'all gained some type of I hope this video helped you in any type of way. And if you want to see more conscious videos or thought-provoking videos from my channel, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you won't miss out. And as always, peace and abundance, peace and